Hey guys, and welcome to Combat Kings TV. Hopefully everybody is doing well. I'm the co-host as well as obviously Reacts in there. Welcome. I'm Liam, half of Combat Kings TV, and we're going to be talking Misfits. We're going to be talking Andrew Tate versus Chase Demoor. Obviously, it's the massive Misfits card that is over in Dubai this December. Obviously, I think it's called, what does it say? The Fight Before Christmas, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
So big fights on here. Me and Rex are obviously going to talk about it, react to it, so on and so forth. But yeah, smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, yeah, bro, yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think,
definitely will.
You know, I do have a very strong opinion on the takeover and all of that. I don't believe it personally. But this fight in itself, I think. I don't know, man. What are you thinking on this fight?
I mean, as the fight as a whole, I'm not too interested in it as a fan.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in Andrew Tate as the storyline. Now, real quick, my quick fire opinions on Andrew Tate. I think, look, he has definitely said some beyond sus things in his career so far. However, I can see why Misfits brought him in. Now, is it selling their soul type thing? Look, I'm sure they'll answer that. But we all know he's going to bring eyes to the sport. We all know he's going to bring eyes to this as a perspective, because Misfits is an entertainment perspective. It's not proper professional boxing. It's a circus. And Andrew Tate is definitely going to be fully well on board on a part of that, because he knows he's going to be able to
100%.
rattle a few gloves.
Like,
and he's really doing that with KSI.
Yeah, of course. Like, he is a fighter. He was a kickboxer, a very good one. In that, but at the same time, he's the biggest name on the planet. And you know, when you've got big boxing cards like what's the Adrian Ross one called? No, I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head, but like,
yeah, Adrian Ross does one on.
Would you want the Aiden, like, would you, not you personally, but in overall, would you want Tate to go there? No, you don't. You know what I mean? You need Tate in Misfits. Misfits is the biggest out of all of the influencer stuff. You know what I mean? I wouldn't really say MVP, as in Jake Paul, because he's actually pushing. He's pushing way
with the women's professional boxing bouts. Yeah,
professional. Yeah. So this is the biggest, and yeah, you go and get the guy in there and have the storyline as well, to have it where, you know, he's taken the company. You know what I mean? He's basically demanded a title shot. You know what I mean? He hasn't earned it. Don't tell me he's earned it, because he hasn't. You know what I mean? He's demanded a title shot. He's taken his title shot. He's going to take the title off Chase Demoor. We'll do a separate prediction video and so on. But, you know what I mean? I generally think this then sets up for him versus KSI for the company. I really do. I think that's how they're going to spin it. I don't believe this whole takeover thing.
Yeah, because I think it's not as simple as in just firing someone. KSI has actual stakes. He has actual rights in Misfits.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know the nitty-gritty details of it, because, you know, I'm not a part of Misfits. However, we know KSI does have a stake in Misfits. So I doubt he's completely, that's him, binned. He's not in Misfits anymore. And it's Chase Demoor as the new CEO. I could understand Andrew Tate now being the CEO, because we know what he's like when it comes to businesses perspective. He is quite successful in that market, and with it being in Dubai, I think it's really interesting, because I don't know if this guy has the licenses or to even be allowed to go to the US or America, or the UK. So it makes sense to put it in.
He was in America recently. Pretty sure he was in America recently, Tate.
I don't know. I think it's more due to the allegations as to why maybe potentially he's not allowed in, you know, those certain countries.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But, you know, it makes more sense to put it in Dubai. And we are going to speak about one of the undercard fights that's going to be on, in my opinion. I actually think that's more of an exciting fight, in my opinion, than this. But Andrew Tate coming to Misfits is really interesting, because with the whole drama of Andrew Tate, you know, with the stuff that he said and done in recent years, it's naturally going to bring eyes. And this is kind of I compared this to Jake Paul a bit, and everyone wants to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Everyone wants to see Jake Paul lose. everyone's going to want to see Andrew Tate lose and Andrew Tate get knocked out. So I get it. I understand the perspective from that value because people are going to want to buy tickets. People are going to watch because they want to see this guy ultimately get flatlined on the canvas. So I understand it from a commercial. I understand it from a business suspense because it's going to drive eyes and money to your platforms. What I don't understand is this going to be a one-off and go, maybe 2-3 fights and he's off, or is Andrew Tate realistically trying to come into the influencer space and ultimately take on a load of guys? Is he going to try and fight KSI, Jake Paul, the big guys? And I think he's starting off with a difficult fight, in my opinion, in Chase Demoor.
To be honest with you, brother, with all due respect, it takes balls to get in the ring. I've never been in the ring, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm this big hard man or anything. But I think Chase Demoor is very, very crap. I think he shies away from a punch coming at him. When he's jabbing and so on, he's always like this. When he goes in, he's always like this, trying to get away from it. And
He's definitely got the attributes and traits to actually be decent at influencer.
He's an athlete. You can see by the body, bro. No, homo and all of that, but you can see by the body he's an athlete. You know what I mean? But he is in it for the payday, bro. You know what I mean? He's not. He's like Tate was a world champion of kickboxing, bro. Yes, I agree. Kickboxing, you're allowed to kick. I get it. But if you look at some of his punches, some of his finishes, they are by punch. You know what I mean? It's not all head kick. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, he's coming in here. He's taking over, bro. That's what it is. What you said on what you said about him being one and done. No, I generally think, this is, with all due respect, it's going to be disrespectful what I'm saying, but I think this is his warm up for. I think eventually they push for that Darren Till fight. I don't think he's just going to go in there with Darren Till. I think that's
Darren Till would be the build up for that would be, if you're talking build ups in influencer boxing, I think that could be the best. As much as I'd like to see KSI maybe go in there, I could see that, but Darren Till can talk and he can back it up.
Yeah.
Darren Till, Andrew Tate. By the way, I think Darren Till's by far the best influencer boxer. And I don't think anyone's touching him. I don't think KSI.
He shouldn't be anyone boxer. He's that good.
I think I think he loses. I think he beats Jake Paul, in my opinion. I think he's by far the best. And, I think there's certain ex-pros, that you can give a run for his money, like Carl Froch, etc. We'll have to wait and see if those happen. But yeah, Andrew Tate coming into boxing, into Misfits is definitely going to be interesting. But people, we are going to talk about Andrew Tate very, very soon again in the lead up to this fight, the fight before Christmas. But one card I wanted to get your thoughts on, Liam, was this one. For me, I think this is the best card, best fight on the card in my so far that's been announced. I'm more excited for this fight than I am the main event.
Yeah, because I understand where you're coming from. I do.
Dylan Dennis is actually good at jiu-jitsu. He's actually good at MMA.
I think.
And Anthony Taylor's not. He's decent, and these two have characters of.
Well, there's the story, bro. There's the story of Dylan Dennis turning up to one of the fights in America. I think it's one of the first shows they put on. He throws Starbucks coffee over KSI. KSI with all of the security tries to get at him, can't get at him, and then Anthony Taylor takes it into his own accord, and he goes and punches him. That is the story. He's already landed a shot on him. There's a big scuffle and so on and so forth. So that's the story. Now, again, that is going to be the story in this fight, in my personal opinion. Is he going to be able to land on Dylan and knock Dylan out? What is his takedown?
Because this guy is very good at jiu-jitsu. He's very good.
Yeah, if he takes him down, he's either putting him in an armbar, a rear naked choke, or a guillotine, or he's taking him for his leg, bro. Like, you don't want to fight him on the ground, so you need to keep it standing. But it's an MMA fight, not a boxing fight. So
exactly. If it becomes a stand-up trade, I think Anthony Taylor will slap him. If he actually tries to somewhat trade, But if it becomes a technical aspect, when it comes down to the takedowns, etc., I fancy Dylan Dennis to beat him, in my opinion, because you saw in this last fight, he won it by, I think he won it in the first 7 or 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And people, Misfits want to utilize Dylan Dennis because he's actually good at what he's actually good at.
The promo
He
and
actually
everything.
can talk crap. So again, you go back to the eyes on the sport and stuff. You know, it's very interesting. The only thing I don't like is it's actually in a boxing ring, though. It's not actually in a cage, and I don't like. I'm not sure if they can like put the cage in and put the ring back in. I don't know, but when I saw that, I didn't like how it was actually in a boxing ring. I'd rather see it in a cage because I think you'd actually see a lot more action if it was in a proper cage. Because you know, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't grapple up against ropes, bro. You go through them.
Yeah, exactly. With a cage, you can. So again, it does come, you know, within this, it's going to come down to the more technical ability aspect of it.
Yeah.
But before we do wrap up, do you think Misfits have got some more big cards lined up?
Yeah, I think they're, you know, again, I don't think, again, like we said in this, I don't think the whole KSI thing's true personally. You know, I mean, legalities and so on and so forth. You know, a lot of people will jump on this, they'll bite it, they'll eat it. It's the, you know, sheep and all of that. But personally, I think, you know, KSI will come back. I know he wants to focus on his music and so on, but I think, you know, that hand is very, very much important for him to come back. He'll be going against Tate, I'm sure. You can't. No one's taking your company off you, bro. Come on now. You know what I mean? So obviously, we recently had the fights just this weekend, actually. So you know, we've got a new lightweight. I think he was lightweight champion in that. And B Dave fought as well, and so who I can't. Why am I forgetting his name? I'm forgetting his name. Little Cray was the champion. Who did he lose to? Oh, Cray. Me search it.
But for people in the comments, what other fights would you like to see on this card? On the fight before Christmas?
Yeah, because there's only been 3. There's 3. There's a women's title as well.
Yes.
Clara Jade versus Taylor Killer B Starling. Now I don't have a clue who the hell she is, but I'm guessing she's some sort of fighter because she looked like a fighter, bro.
I think Dean the Great's also fighting on this card.
Fox the G. That's his name. Yeah, Fox the G won the title.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
That's the guy I was thinking. I can think of his name. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. They've only released 3 fights. Obviously, by the time it comes around to it, we'll do another video together.
We'll do a full card
predictions and so on. Yeah. But
you
yeah,
will be there for the watch time people as well. So make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel because we don't only just cover influence boxing. We also cover professional boxing as well. But before we do end the video, what's your 2 predictions for these? Dylan Dennis versus Anthony Taylor, first one.
Early predictions. I think Dylan Dennis, 3rd round submission. I think.
I'm gonna go Dylan Dennis, 2nd round submission, and for the main event,
Andrew Tate knocks him out in the 1st round.
I'm gonna go and Chase Demoor to win by stoppage.
You're gonna say the round, or
I'm gonna go. Well, it's not been confirmed how many rounds. I think it's gonna be a 10-rounder from what I've seen. I think Chase Demoor 4-round stoppage. I don't rate. This is boxing now. If it was kickboxing and all this, I'd have a different prediction. But when I've actually watched Andrew Tate the odd couple of boxing fights, he looks meaty, and Chase Demoor has a bit of, you know, experience in it, and he's had a couple of Misfits fights. However, it all depends on the night because he's never been main event before. This is Andrew Tate's land in Dubai, so it's gonna be very, very interesting. There are only predictions, people, and make sure you smash a like, subscribe, get involved in the comments if you want with your in-depth predictions. We'll also do a massive fight card preview in the lead up. We'll have like weigh-in watch-alongs and the full main card watch-along. So I think this is what, the 20th of December. So literally 5 weeks away from the fight before Christmas. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Liam, for being on the video. Big up to my guy. Big up. We're both partners in this channel. We're looking to grow it, talking about the wonderful sport of boxing. So yeah, take care, everyone, and we'll see you all very soon. Peace.